everybody, including Lottie Dottie. All right, so tried to go live earlier and there was no audio. I think I got that sorted out and fixed now, so that's why I'm on right now to see if I was able to sort it out. Look at here, man. You've heard me say this before. It's nothing new. In this thing called life, we are going to have our fair share of issues, but the reality is we got to work through it. We got to work through it. So I don't know who this is meant for and who is supposed to hear this, but I just want to let you know that you cannot afford to give up right now because it's difficult. Just keep on pressing. Find a workaround. Can you hear me? Hopefully you can hear me loud and clear. If so, that means I was successful at taking something that presented itself as a bummer and turning it around for the better. Okay. Now, one way or the other, when I take off come Sunday, uh, I'm gonna have my audio, and so that way I can go ahead and go live. I've had a few viewers, reach out and say, "Yo, Retro, are you gonna be able to? Are we gonna be able to follow your ride? Are we gonna be able to follow along?" And so I am certainly endeavoring to make that available for you to follow along my ride. I'm looking forward to it and looking forward to having a great time. There's going to be a lot of reflection. I will be riding solo from here to Canada, uh, and I may catch up with some people along the way, um, but I may not either. I know once we get to Canada, there's going to be several of us um, that will, ride together for the Three Flag Classic. Uh, from what I last heard, I think it was upwards of 200 participants participating in the Three Flag Classic, and quite a few from my area, from my neck of the woods going up. Shout out to K Solo, the rider, um, Highway Dre, Boston, Sugar Brown, uh, Sparkle from Tennessee. Her and a couple of people are riding up from Tennessee, and I had spoke with them. I was going to try to connect with them on the way, but uh, I won't be able to leave until Sunday evening, and I think they're going to be leaving possibly Friday or Saturday, and so that's completely understood. Um, doesn't make sense to go so far and not take time to stop and smell the roses, and so I know some of the guys that are leaving from this region are doing just that. They're going to take the time and smell the roses and stop at a couple different monuments and photo ops. For those of you who are watching, can you hear me loud and clear? All morning I've been having problems getting the audio to connect. It was just hearing the wind noise from the phone, and I think I may have figured it out. As you guys know, normally I'm going live with the yellow helmet, and so that one is synced up right. Usually don't have no problems getting it to do what it's supposed to do. But this one is not so, so that's why I'm pestering you guys and going live all day today, trying to make sure I got it figured out. This is the helmet that I'm going to be using. This is my older LS2. I am in the market for a new helmet, and just wasn't able to pull the trigger before leaving on my trip. I'm still kind of drawn between I got to figure it out between the LS2, the newer LS2, and the Simpson modular. And so I'll worry about that when I get back. This one is going to be good enough to ride on the trip. We did do a tour of the Simpson facility, and we actually spoke with one of their engineers. Matter of fact, I got to get that footage up so you guys can hear it from the horse's mouth. But your helmet does have a shelf life. Um, it is recommended to replace your helmet after X amount of years. I don't recall if it was 2 or 5, but um, after speaking with the engineer, he did inform us that over time that helmet will need to be replaced. Uh, Working at the Harley Davidson dealership, I also learned years ago that if you the helmet, you need to think about. I know we've all dropped our helmet and we ain't replaced it, but I have seen helmets drop at the dealership and they had to write it off. They couldn't put it back on the showroom floor. Uh, so all I'm simply trying to say is, at some point, you need to consider replacing the helmet you have right now if you haven't gotten it recently. I've got quite a few helmets at home in my building, and some in my mud room, and some of them I'll probably never wear again. One of them, brand new helmet. I got it when I was coming back from the Poconos, and got caught in a wicked rainstorm, and the helmet that I think I rolled up my fighter pilot helmet, the Scorpion, and I like that helmet. I got it, logoed out, subscribe, and all this and that. So, and it's a cool looking helmet, but it's not as practical as it is cool looking. And so that rainstorm that I got caught in, it was fogging up. It had a tinted visor, so that added to the difficulty of seeing. And I just said, you know what, I can't do this. So I stopped at Cycle Gear. Shout out to Cycle Gear, and ended up just buying a helmet to get me back home. And after I got home, I was supposed to return it and never did. And so it's a brand new helmet, only been wore maybe 3 or 4 times. Um, but anyway, this LS2 is great because of the way that it transforms, and I like that. So on this trip that I'm taking, I need to be able to open up that visor and eat some snacks, drink some drinks, and get some air. And so that's the reason why I'll be taking this one. My yellow helmet doesn't modulate or doesn't open at all, other than the visor. But I can't eat through the visor, so there's that. So anyway, wanted to hop on to see if my audio was working. No one said otherwise, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this, and then I'll just replay it and see if the audio was actually coming through as it should. Just left LEDs in bags. Shout out to Eddie Bird. Got my AMSOIL fluids, so I'll get to the house tonight and drop those fluids, or I may just wait till the morning. It's been a long day already. And then I also got to replace my brake pads, which I also got from LEDs and bags. So you can get more than just tour packs and side covers and extended fenders. You could also get bike parts, oil and filters, and things like that. So make sure you go see Eddie Bird. You can find him on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and the World Wide Web. Tell him Retro sent you, and he'll take care of you. But again, it is a beautiful day here in the Carolinas. Not sure where you are watching from. All this used to be woods over there. You guys can't see it. But now they're getting ready to put in, I used to know some folks that live right over there, and now it's just all flat. They're getting ready to put up, no doubt, a subdivision. Hopefully the people made out good with selling their property. Um, but everywhere you look down here in the South, here in Mooresville, Cornelius, Huntersville, Statesville, surrounding towns and cities, they're just building up like crazy. Getting ready to pass some other property that used to be nothing but pastures, and all this is new. All that there to your right is new. That was all farmland. The gas station there is new, but that's what's going on nowadays, man. They're just developing like crazy. Up here to my right, as you can see, the corn is still there, but there's a farmhouse. I think the farmhouse is still there, but they had more property. And years ago, not too many years ago, I'd say maybe 4 or 5 years ago, right there at that white farmhouse, they filmed a movie. The Jonas Brothers were one of the Jonas Brothers was starring in that movie. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Mooresville area, but there have been quite a few movies that have been filmed in this area. I used to have a barber shop over on Brawley Ave off of Main Street in Mooresville, and they did some filming right across the street. They even came into the barber shop, scouting out my location. They were considering using it in one of the scenes. And I want to say the name of that show. It wasn't a movie. This was actually a series, Banshee. Yeah, Banshee was the name of the I think it was a Showtime series that they were shooting. It was actually pretty good too. And they never did use my location as my shop as a location to film from. But it was really cool watching it all play out. They did use there's a big factory right across the street from me, well, it was when I was located there, and so they did a lot of filming there, and so you'd be surprised where some of these movies are filmed. As a matter of fact, it was funny because I literally watched them filming this movie, this Showtime series. I'm watching it, and I remember watching the show on TV. And after they did their editing and stuff like that, and I know the building because I was right across the street from it. But what they did was I don't know if they used green screen or what they did, but you're looking at the building, but the background they completely changed the background when the scene actually went to film, and I was like, yo, that's crazy. Um, but just a little fun fact. So I don't know if you've ever saw the TV show Banshee. I thought it was actually pretty good. And there was a few other series that was filmed here in town, as well as a couple movies. So at one point, I thought I was gonna get my shot in the, yeah, I thought I was gonna get a little extra or something. But until then, we just keep on doing what we do. Hey, Mr. Mystery, how you doing? I've been doing good, sir. Hope you have been. I take it you can hear me. That's been the issue I've been having all day. As you can see, I've changed my helmet, and this helmet wasn't syncing up with the app, but I think I may have gotten that sorted out. Um, so hopefully you can hear me right now. And again, if not, once I get home, I will, uh, you know, fool around with it and try to get it sorted out. Um, So I went to LEDs and Bags. He's down in Concord, North Carolina, and I took mostly back roads to get there. There was a portion of 85 that I had to hop on, but traffic was flowing really good. Bike is running really good. Beautiful day today. We're dealing with the high 70s today, so that's almost perfect riding weather. And so I'm now trying to make it back home. I gotta go home and hop in the dump truck, and then go take care of a quick job. So if you don't know, you better ask somebody, man. I'm all over the place, man. Early morning I'm doing one thing, late afternoon I'm doing this, and so we're gonna get home, park Ruby Red. I'm not even putting her in the shed. I'm gonna just park her underneath the carport, hop in Big Frida, and then we're gonna go down here and hit up this job we gotta do. Late evening job, you know. It is what it is. Hey, you already know what it is, man. I'm trying to get some gas money, man, because Ruby's thirsty. Right now she's about almost on E, but I've been riding all day. So I used to tell my kids all the time, you do what you got to do so you can do what you want to do. Somebody ought to catch that. There are some things that you got to do. You might not want to, you might not like it, but you got to. You got to do it so that when time comes for you to do what you want to do, you'll be able to. Worst thing in the world I can recall when I was a kid. Use this for an example. And Mama said, "Look, I need you to wash the dishes, mop the floor, take the trash out, make your bed, uh, you know, and sweep out the bathroom. I don't know." And you're like, "Ah, Ma, I don't want to." And so there you are. She's gone to work. She done already told you what you got to do, and you procrastinate. Next thing you know, Mama come home, chores ain't done. If you don't get a whooping, she might just say, "All right, I told you to do it. Get on in there and do it." Now, meanwhile, you're in there with a frown on your face, doing what you should have already done. Um, Vacuuming. Least favorite chore is vacuuming. You know what, Mr. Mystery? I really don't mind vacuuming. I kind of enjoy it. The sound of the vacuum and the stripes that it leaves in the carpet. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I don't mind it. You know. Um, but so now, Mama done come home from work. You ain't done your chores. You had all day to do them, and you didn't. And so now here you are. Now you got to do it because she making you do it. Meanwhile, the doorbell rings. All your little homies that showed up, want to go ride bikes and want to go hang out, and that's what you want to do. But because you didn't do what you had to do, you can't do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? So do what you gotta do, so you can do what you want to do when the time comes. It sucks to be doing something that you could have already done, and now as a result, you can't do what you want to do. So I am riding through well, not downtown Mooresville. We just passed through downtown Mooresville. Actually, it didn't really pass through downtown Mooresville, but by downtown Mooresville, and headed to Statesville, North Carolina. And traffic is backing up as it normally does at this intersection. crossing these railroad tracks. So I'm gonna have to do something funky, cause I ain't trying to. Nah, I ain't trying to stay in this stuff. What's going on? Why is traffic backed up like this? This is a little bit excessive. Um, yeah, something's happened. I hear sirens. Yeah, I hear sirens. So something might have happened. Uh, Let me see something here. Mr. Mystery, thank you for joining us today and pressing play. Um, and obviously, yeah, you can hear me because you responded to the whole thing about chores. So audio is working as it should, I guess. All right. I don't know if you're familiar with Mooresville or not. Probably not. But as a matter of fact, this is where one of our first apartments when we moved to North Carolina 20 years ago. We moved to Mooresville. Piedmont Apartments was our first um, apartment, and my daughter actually lives over here now. I done already passed her part. I would have stopped if I was thinking, but I got to get home and get in this truck and go get this gas money. So, baby girl, I'll give you a call. I'll come see you a little bit later on. All right. So I don't know if this made it any better or worse. I could make a right, take the back way up, but it looks like that's where the backup is happening. So I'm gonna make a left up here and slide down 150, pick up 77 north, and get on. You know what? I can't do it, man. I'm sorry for being rude, but there's no way I'm gonna sit here and wait. I'm not gonna do it. I don't know what they were waiting on, but I don't have time to wait on whatever it is they were waiting on. Whew. Let me see what y'all saying. My dogs bark when I vacuum. Okay, so dogs start barking and making a bunch of noise. Uh, Believe it or not, my dog does the same thing. Cam, my little dog Cam, and he go to barking. He's a little bitty dog, fit in the palm of your hand. Well, he ain't that small, but he is a little dog. And but yeah, he go to barking and everything. But sometimes there's things that we don't want to do and we don't like doing because we don't like doing it. But I think that we could literally uh, retrain ourselves. What's your favorite song? I don't know what my favorite song is. I don't know if I have a favorite song anymore. Um, yeah, I don't know. What's your favorite song, Mr. Mystery? I used to have some favorite artists, and to be honest with you, it was a guy named Dietrich Haddon. He was one of my favorite artists. Not so much anymore, but yeah. So I don't know if I actually have a favorite song, to be honest with you. There is a gospel song. I'm trying to remember who sings it, but the lyrics, it says, "You don't have to stay in the shape that you're in. The Potter wants to put you back together again." Uh, and it's a very beautiful song. So if I had to pull one out of the air, I would probably say that one. Beautiful song. I can't remember who sings it, but it is a beautiful. When I'm on my motorcycle, like this coming weekend, when I take off on my trip, I don't want anybody to judge me. Um, God's country, Blake Shelton. Okay, um, I can rock with Blake. As a matter of fact, that's what I was going to say. When I take a long trip, usually country music is on my playlist. Um, Country music, 90s reggae dance hall, um, and here lately I've been listening to a little bit of country soul. You know, oh Lord, Marcellus the singer, that boy can sing. Uh, Anthony Hamilton, that boy can sing. But um, but yeah, so I'll throw on some country. For some reason, when I'm riding or driving for that matter, of course I do way more riding nowadays. Um, but when I'm on a trip, it's just something about some good old country music, man. It keeps me up. Um, so I'll have plenty of that on deck, and then when I start getting real restless or whatever, I throw some '90s dance hall music, and it just kind of I just be vibing, you know what I mean? And get on through. But other than that, guys, we are just here chit chatting, and I'm curious as to what all we're going to cover on this trip in terms of conversation. Hopefully, you guys will press play and participate. Of course, depending on you know what traffic and stuff is looking like, will determine how much I could actually read any of your comments. I swear that looked like two dudes on that bike. No bueno. Yeah, but hey, to each his own. But um, but yeah, I think what's gonna happen in my mind, what's gonna happen is when I take up on this trip, I got a couple long stretches I'm gonna be doing, and he says I'm the best streamer that he can find. Thank you, Mr. Mystery. I was sharing with somebody, as a matter of fact, earlier today, that your vibe will attract your tribe, and you cannot allow what others are saying or what you think they think about you to discredit who you are, and you no longer, be who you're supposed to be and do what you're supposed to do. Because, like Mr. Dreamer said, I'm the best streamer that he can find, and somebody else may say I'm the worst. And so what's what one thinks about me is none of my business. What is my business is that I handle my business. Because in handling my business, I'll reach somebody. I may not be able to reach everybody, but I got to reach somebody. And if it's just that one somebody that receives something from the content, then it's well worth it. The Bible talks about how he left the 99 to find the one. And sometimes we are more concerned with impressing the 99, but not doing what we're supposed to do to reach the one. And so today, Mr. Mystery, you are the one. So thank you for pressing play, and we're glad that you're able to get some enjoyment out of this content. And I don't know if you know it or not, but we just recently finally reached our 1K mark as far as subscribers. So I'm pretty stoked about that. There are some people that I know who started their channels and within months they were over 1K subscribers and X amount of views, and that's good. You know, I'm not hating on that. Um, but for different folks, it plays out differently, and so we have to understand that and we have to accept that. I can't look at you and say, well, that's the way it should work for me. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. The thing is to just be grateful. Godliness with contentment is great gain. I'm about to make my leftover. Oh, Chinese sounds good. Nice. What kind of Chinese food you got, brother? Um, I happen to like Chinese food. I really do. Um, oh, I'll tell you a story about Chinese food. The other day, I woke up and I was looking at YouTube, and I think the guy might have been. I don't know if he was getting interviewed or not, but what I do remember is that he had a plate of Chinese food. Oh my goodness, some shrimp, broccoli, rice, and it looked so good. I mean, it looked so good. It was like I could taste it through the daggone screen. And so naturally, now I got a craving for Chinese food. It was a Monday, matter of fact, Monday passed, and so I'm doing what I got to do all day and everything, and didn't get a chance to go get some, and that was my plan. And so finally, the wife comes home from work, and I was like, "Babe, you want some Chinese food?" And yeah, sure, okay, I'm gonna go grab some Chinese food. So I go downtown. We got a little spot downtown Statesville, and orange chicken and chow mein from China King, nice. And I go downtown Statesville because they got a little joint down there that has really grown on me, and their food's not too bad. So I go down there. My stomach is ready for it. My taste buds, my mind. I'm just yeah. And man, I get there and guess what? They're closed on Mondays. I said, man. So now I'm scanning my brain. Where's another Chinese place? Where's another Chinese place? And so okay, we got one over by the old mall. So boom, I scoot up on Broad Street to go place an order there. Get over there. Guess what? They're closed too. I said, you gotta be kidding me. So then I'm sitting there and I'm trying to figure out where else I can go for Chinese food. And I think I went on Google or whatever, and then that's when I remembered there was one more called Rice Fund. So I Googled it, called them, and confirmed that they was open before I headed that way. And sure enough, I get there, they were open. Placed my order, but yeah, yeah, it wasn't ready. Yeah, I was, man, it was a waste of money and time. Um, the rice, it just, uh, and I don't want to sound offensive or anything. I'll just leave it as it is. It just wasn't good. So maybe, just maybe, I may get some Chinese food tonight. Chances are I won't, but maybe. I am hungry. I'm trying to think, what did I eat today? Where did I go? I had some chicken strips, and that's it. And oh gosh, more traffic. Dang it. I'm trying to cut out traffic and run right into traffic. It's a crapshoot. Sometimes, like Forrest Gump said, you never know what you're going to get. But I tell you what, breakdown lane, here I come. I can't make a U-turn and go back up the ramp. Um, so let me go ahead and shut this down because I'm getting ready to do some stuff that might not be. Let me see what's going on. Is it an accident? Is it traffic for lane closure? It's backed up all the way up there as far as I can see. All right, it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's stay cool. Um, Time is getting away from me. I had a great conversation with man Eddie Bird. The plan was to get in, grab my stuff, and keep going because my day has just been falling off schedule since this morning, which is a good thing, though. I mean, I don't mean say that, negatively. It's been a very productive day. Um, but when you get amongst people like Eddie Bird, you can't rush that conversation. It's just, every time me and that brother connect, it's always good, positive conversation, and he's a real cool dude. So I stayed there way longer than I should have, but that's okay. It was worth it. Uh, I could have probably, well, I had wanted to be home probably a few hours ago, um, but, but I still got time. It is what it is. Thank you, Mr. Mystery. Appreciate that, sir. All right, guys. So it looks like audio is working as it should, so I'll be good for this coming weekend. I'll still review this once I get some downtime, see if there's anything I can do to tweak it and make it any better. Already, I know what I'm going to do is I'm going to reposition this boom mic. It's so far over here, I'm going to extend it a little bit more, so it's right in front of me. That should help us out a little bit more as well. I'm using the Sena 30K, I think it is, which hasn't been a bad product, but I do hear that there are some better products on the market. Uh, so we will possibly give some of those a shot at a later time. Um, but until then, I'll just keep on using what I got. I've got about maybe 3 or 4 different Senas, and they're all 3 different models. And that's because I got a couple of different helmets, and so it's nice to be able to have the intercom in each helmet, so you're not trying to switch over because that can become a pain in the butt. But like I said, there are some other brands. Medici, I believe, is one brand. Cardio is another brand. I've been hearing some good stuff about the Cardio headset. So that'll probably be the next one we look forward to trying out. 'Cause, 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 'c All right, so traffic is it's actually moving. It's still backing up. It's still backed up a little bit, but at least it's moving. Well, I shouldn't say it's backing up. It's congested, but at least it's moving. So that's a good thing. Mr. Mystery, you got me thinking about Chinese food now, man. I wasn't even hungry. Wasn't thinking about it anyway. But now you got me talking about Chinese food, and now I want some Chinese food. There was one place um, in Mooresville that we used to down on Shears Road. Um, oh God, I can't remember the name of it. I can't remember the name of it. It was right on the tip of my tongue. But I tried their Mongolian chicken. Oh man, yeah, it was on point. What's the name of that place? Maybe it'll come to me later, but it's okay. And then we've got a couple of Thai restaurants that I've gone to, or I should say that I frequent or used to anyway, not as much as I used to. One in Mooresville, it's called Thai Thai, and it's actually pretty good. When I had my shop downtown Mooresville, I used to go there quite a bit, and they have this dish called larb, Larb, and you can get beef, chicken, and I think it was another way you can get it. I always got the beef. Oh man, it's good, it's good. And then we have a Thai restaurant in Statesville. I can't think of the name of that one either. Right next to Food Lion. Of course, they say wherever there's a Food Lion, there's an Oriental restaurant, whether it be Chinese or Thai. And so the next time you're in a plaza where there's a Food Lion, look. Chances are you'll see a nail shop and a Chinese restaurant. That's yeah. And every single Food Lion that I've come across to date, especially in Mooresville, Statesville area, they have Food Lion and a nail shop, and in some cases even a Chinese restaurant. And I don't know if that's coincidence or what it is, but it's been a reoccurring pattern. And I guess that's a useless fun fact. I don't know, but yeah. Oh, all right. I need gas. Gas light has come on. I've got 39 miles to eat. That's enough to get me to my state, to my exit, and then I'll fuel up. So, guys, I want to thank you for pressing play and watching with me. And until next time, get out there, collect some miles,